the future of our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, the findings of this report from 17 universities sampled are both enlightening and alarming. They reveal that 45.6% of university students have used at least one drug or a substance in their lifetime. Even more alarming is that 26.6% of our university students are currently using this substance. Alcohol, tobacco, cannabis, khat, and even emerging substances like methamphetamine and codeine syrup are finding their way into the life of our students. We often think of drugs and substance use as an issue that predominantly affects men, but the reality demonstrated by this report shows that the female university students are also becoming increasingly more vulnerable. A reminder to us that addiction knows no gender. And this is very sad because this is not the gender equality we were looking for. It was not a gender equality in sharing drugs together. We must urgently address the unique challenges our young women face and ensure that they are not left behind in this fight. I know that NACADA is a step ahead on, on this through provision of free rehabilitation to female clients at the Miritini Drug Rehabilitation Center. Let me just say this a little bit because I have been a university teacher before. It is true that this report is very, very true. And it's not something that just happened in 2024. It has been true for a very long time. And it is also true that our staff in the university, including lecturers, present or former, contribute immensely to the distribution of drugs in the university and alcohol. In fact, it is true that lecturers intentionally invite students for going out and buying alcohol intentionally. I know some of you are since graduated, but it is true that your lecturers took you out and they bought you alcohol. So as a matter of fact, many young students, and especially female students, become victims of the same. In fact, it goes, one of the most prevalent, and I think, is it NACADA or now who, but even if it's not confined to your mandate, another study should be done about sexual abuse in the university, and particularly taking advantage of young girls by those who are supposed to take care of them, and sex for marks and all those kind of things. Those evil things we have condoned for far too long in the university are catching up with us, and it is important for all of us to make sure that we face these challenges head on. And it's very good to have a vice chancellor who is a lady vice chancellor here, and I believe take up also in the university. And let's not hide it under the carpet. I know professors who used to harass students, and they never really, and some students never graduated because they never fell into their out of the disciplinary action. There is a problem with our universities, and we must start running universities as proper institutions, universities that can respond to this challenge, and we must face it. And I speak as your former colleague. Let me say this. The other problem about this orientation to university is that the students, by the time they're joining university, this period between high school, high school and joining university, and they are policing by the teachers at the high school, and the absence of parental care between high school and joining the university is a very dangerous period, because the students leave high school and they have not, they have not been prepared for this freedom, and they get home and their parents don't have time, or they don't have the capacity to look after them, or they don't have and they have not been trained to do so, or they are just negligent. The students arrive and now they are suddenly free with gadgets and ability to access their friends. So this period is dangerous because by the time they're joining first year, a number of them for the first time have been introduced to this substance abuse in between. But then when they join the university, they find a university that does not have, first of all, there is no orientation. What I went through as a first year was not an orientation at all. In fact, I must say that I never got to know even what was a course outline. Forget about the other issues. Even somebody to tell you a course outline means you can study on your own and this is what it means. Just a basic information. And for my 4 years in the university, I never interacted with anybody who told me that you can have stress in life. And you need, it was, why would you be stressed? You are a university student, It was rather obvious. There was only one department of the Dean of Students, and that's at the University of Nairobi, and the Dean of Students was in main campus. So those of us who were in Parklands were at the mercy of the caretaker of the residents there. And so you were on your own for the entire period. Even students who lose their loved ones, had to just take care of themselves or be looked after by the students. And if they were members of Christian Union or they were members of the YCS or a religious organization. That's why the study is very true. Those students who find themselves busy, either in the CU, they are going for, in fact, CUs and the Christian organizations in campus play an extremely important role in distracting students from accessing these drugs. Because, and that's why I'll want to make a case for the next point, which is that in the absence of a department in a university, poorly funded, with 1 or 2 staff, because the university is concentrating on, we are teaching students, and therefore we want a lecturer who teaches engineering, teaches law, teaches medicine, but they don't realize that the well-being of the student outside this class session. So the university environment nowadays does not have a counseling department. If they have, there are very few people. They don't reach out to the students. So the gap was only filled by these social groupings, and particularly the CU, because how does the CU do so? And I'm biased because I'm a former CU chair. And I speak for the CU, the YCS, and the other groups. Because you are going for Sunday service as a CU, you have maybe a Tuesday, prayer session, or you have a Bible study on Tuesday. On a Wednesday, you have something. On a Saturday, you and you're all, and you are visiting each other in the rooms, and so if you have a small problem here, you feel you are part of a family. The same to the and the other grouping, and therefore that as themselves. One of the gaps that was filled then for some of us was the what we call Fellowship of Christian Unions. Then some campus staff would come, reach out to you, and there were very few of them, and now they are also overstretched. You must, as universities, provide ways of filling this gap, and you must not continue looking at counseling and looking after the students as part of the university with properly hired staff who are looking at and put as part of the budget of the student. If we don't do so, we will come back to these statistics again. Be stressed way after I left school. Yeah, way after I was feeling my stomach, I was getting tired, I was bad. Then I was told there's something called stress. Being stressed is ostracized. You are not allowed to be stressed, a young person. What's wrong with you? You should be enjoying life. And so mental health is here, that these findings call us to do something about the well-being of our students in the university. We must urgently address the unique challenges that these young people are going through. The revelation that female students across the universities are having higher prevalence of moderately severe 6.4% and severe 4.1% depressive disorders compared to their male counterparts 5.2% and 3% respectively is a matter of concern to the future of the girl child. As revealed in this report, alcohol was the most available substance among the students at 87.3%, followed by cigarette 64.4% and shisha 41.2%. Of these students, we are left with one big question. How can we curb availability of this substance? Collaborative effort in the fight against drug and substance abuse. Again, availability of alcohol in the school environment. I don't think you will succeed to ban alcohol in the university. And I don't think it will be easy. And I don't think students are suffering because of good alcohol. Okay, as a pastor, I don't know what's good alcohol, but I know something about it. Yeah? Most of the students who are addicted in the university is not because they are drinking beer. Let me say so, because we had a long discussion in the cabinet about when more taxes on certain alcohol and reducing others. I don't think beer is one of the cause of addiction in the university. No. I believe that the real cause of addiction is the cheap alcohol, this ethanol that students are being sold to, very cheap in the those small bottles. And I don't know, the latest one is called something, I don't know. There's one that is coming through Uganda that has an interesting name. It's called, yeah? Not Waragi. I'm talking about some of these small bottles, very cheap sachets that are being sold around here. Those are the ones. Spirits and these others, funny alcohol here, are the ones that are causing more problem. Why don't we ban those ones first from anywhere near the university and designate the canteens to say you can only sell certain level of alcohol. If you are selling beer from EABL, it will mean, as one of them, I'm not marketing for EABL, but it will mean it's expensive, fairly. A student cannot afford to do four bottles, 5 bottles of the same, you know. We can also put regulations in the university to say, once a student has been established to be addicted, you cannot sell alcohol to that student. And that information will be made available to the canteen, that this student is so-and-so, and so-and-so, and so-and-so, and you can't sell alcohol to these students. Yeah, it is possible. Under rehab, we provide the rehabilitation mechanism. There must be a conversation around this issue. Because if you tell people you will completely ban alcohol in this area, what will happen is that they will go look. You will actually create a demand underground for more dangerous and cheaper substances and make them get high very fast. The report further revealed that friends contribute 66.4% of sources of drugs, with evidence showing university students being involved in the supply and sale of drugs and drug substance. This is a wake-up call to our children to be careful with friends. We parents should also endeavor to know our children's friends. Sorry to be off many times, but we know students that have been in the university forever. Yeah, at the University of Nairobi, they have been in the previously notorious students who never finished school. And they're very rich. And they are doing no business. And extremely influential. And they are in the leadership of the student leadership. So you have that line of students. We must be able to investigate why a student is not leaving school, you know? Or delaying their finishing their school, or, you know, in many other of these universities, we must take deliberate effort to make sure that we deal with those type of students because of the business they are doing around. And IG, I think we need to strengthen all the police stations that are operating near the universities, whether it's Central Police in Nairobi here, or in Rongai near the university, Nazarene University, or the one near KU, with deliberate efforts, interagency within the police to see how we can integrate these investigations. You know, in the past, we were told, I don't know, we used to be told when I was at the university, that some of these students are not students. Yeah? They are police officers. They are busy. Work their IG to make sure that we are. And the police officers and all the team, we get proper intelligence. Cannabis and heroin and cocaine, among others. Again, thank you very much. Again, as parents, unfortunately, these are parents of my generation and slightly older kidogo. Unfortunately, we can't bring our children up. Of us who are brought up, yeah, where I say bye to my parents in Mbobut Forest, and they don't know what you are doing until they know that after 4 years they must come for graduation. They don't know what supplementary, they don't know anything. Yeah, you can't do that. We have to monitor to know where their children. People thought it's political. It is not. As must do something different. Know our children, know their friends, know what they do, and so that we do not regret when they are eventually addicted. Whereas technology has come as a boon, aiding access to academic, also revealed that there was an increased use of online platforms and websites for promoting the sale and use of drugs and substance. As a government, we shall not allow this to continue. Anywhere is a crime everywhere. It doesn't matter whether it's committed online or offline. Children's future by peddling drugs. The anti-narcotics unit within the Directorate of Criminal Investigations must therefore up their game in their enforcement of narcotic drugs and psychotropic substance abuse. And I thank you very much. And I thank you, IG, for confirming that we are going to strengthen. It's important that we do so. And we must psychotropic substance, abuse of psychotropic substance to the level of anti-terror. To do their job. It's our duty as government and as the police department to make sure that we are doing everything possible. And I want to thank you, IG. The operation that was done recently by the National Police in Marsabit was, in Marsabit and Isiolo. I saw some people the other day saying, oh, some young people are national security. We are very serious people. And I told you that once we sit here, we know what's happening in our country. There have been criminals from the Oromo Liberation group that have been bringing drugs from neighboring countries. And they have been hiding somewhere in Marsabit and Isiolo. A number of the people we arrested who are aiding them, including professionals like doctors, who have been arrested, who've been helping facilitate these criminals in their activities, criminal activities, but also in selling the drugs that they have. A lot of bang was confiscated from them. And we arrested so many of them. And that's why when we say we need support of the media, when it comes to crimes like this that are affecting about what is happening in our country. Those leaders including county officials that were arrested, will face the full. And I must say this, and leaders who are hiding behind by mobilizing young people, giving them alcohol, and asking them to come and heckle meetings and dragging them to make sure that they do so on their behalf. We are coming for you. And when we say we are coming for you, we mean it. Where politicians coming to a funeral of a person they don't call anything, they don't even know, they have absolutely no relationship. Family that is mourning. Because of your political competition, you know, you're asking weekend, where is the biggest funeral around? Who has died somewhere? You start organizing young people, give them drugs, give them alcohol, bring them to a funeral that living there to cause mayhem and fights. And you saw you've seen they have recorded statements. The governor recorded a statement. You saw the former CS recording a statement. And everybody will be held into account. We cannot continue allowing this country, because of their position, to use our young people to destroy the stay. We will not compromise any person, and this kind of behavior the future of our country for the sake of votes. You can stay with your votes, but you will rot in jail. We will make sure that you take the responsibility that you must take. Therefore, the National Authority for the Campaign Against the Alcohol and Drug Abuse under my ministry, which has been at the forefront of coordinating the multi-sectoral fight against this menace, must also step up their efforts. It is not just a fight for sobriety, it's a fight for the soul of our nation. Alcohol and drug abuse threatens our security, undermines development, erodes the health and potential of our youth. We therefore see our youth, the pride and the future of our nation, get derailed by harmful substance. Let me be unequivocal. The government is fully committed to this fight. Our national government administration officers, NGAOs, with other multi-agency team, have firm instructions to implement His Excellency the President's directive on eradicating illicit brews and other harmful substances across the country. We will not waver, we will not relent, and we will not bow to any pressure from those who profit from the destruction of our youth. This is a battle we must win, and win decisively. To the parents and the guardians here today, your role cannot be overstated. Your child may now be at the university, but they still need your guidance, support, and love. Be present in their lives. Ask about their studies, their friendships, and their well-being. Show them the way that they have, and show them that they are valued and supported by the family. Be vigilant for the warning signs, a drop in academic performance, withdrawal from the social activities, mood swings, or secretive behavior. These could be the red flags. If you notice them, don't hesitate to have an open and honest conversation with your child. Remember, your involvement could be. We have been told, because I attend also parental classes, that we must talk to our children, including asking them who is their girlfriend now, who is their boyfriend. You must now live to the reality of the time. Our days, your father cannot contemplate asking you something even close to that. In fact, in the village where I came from, if your father sees you walking with a lady, he will pretend he saw something on the other side, and he will change route and course. You are not allowed to be anywhere walking with a girlfriend. Now it is unfortunate that these are new times. We can't raise our children the way our parents raised us. We must have an honest conversation and to show and to understand what they are doing. To the university administrators and faculty, you are not just educators, you are custodians of our future. Your institutions must be safe havens where students can thrive academically, socially, and emotionally. I urge you to prioritize prevention programs, create substance-free social space, and provide wellness-focused activities. Provide sports activities, you know. I just came from the sports ministry. My dream was then, and still is, that the university become the center of sports excellence in the country. And please provide those activities for young people, opportunities for them to run, places for them to play football, to basketball. I personally never realized that I was in fourth year, to be very honest. From the day I joined first year, I was in the Christian Union, I was in student politics, I was in the football team of the university, I was in the debating moot court team, I traveled all over the country, to preach all over the country. I traveled out of the country for seminars and workshops. Then I realized at some point it is for year. In fact, the day I left school, I realized everything I owned within school was not mine, including the school mattress. I actually almost begged that, can I be given this mattress to go with? Because the first day we went out and with my friends, we slept on the floor. It was the second day that we looked for a mattress, we changered a mattress. So let me say this, the university must be an interesting place for our young people. Idleness will create an opportunity for drugs and drug abuse. We must make sure that somebody is playing some role somehow in some activity and busy, whether it is Rotary Club or something, or they are in Red Cross or volunteering in St. John Ambulance or something, so that then we can keep them as busy as possible and make the university more interesting and make their grading even more interesting with extracurricular activities, and we look for those activities. Equally important is ensuring that students struggling with addiction can seek help without fear of stigma or judgment. Let us build universities that nurture not just minds but also character and resilience. The idea that you expel a student because they are addicted may have to be revisited. Yeah, because I have now grown up and I've been told that addiction is a disease, like any other disease. Instead of expelling them, you have to find ways of making sure that they are treated because they are looking for treatment. So there is a whole focus on change of mind to make sure that this sector the choices you make today will shape your future. Drugs, your health, your dreams, and your potential. Employers today are not just looking for academic. By choosing a drug-free lifestyle, you are not only protecting your health, but also building a This report are a call to action for all of us, parents, educators, police. Let us unite in this fight to create a sober, healthy, and prosperous nation. The university management and the relevant stakeholders should roll out deliberate and sustained drug and substance abuse prevention interventions, including programs tailored to the needs of vulnerable population. There is also a need for to play an active role in the prevention of drug abuse. This includes bringing on board other programs used among students. I urge NACADA to continue in this journey in collaboration with the university management to leverage social media and other online platforms to reach the students with tailored prevention programs and factual messaging to counter myths, misinformation, misconception related to DSU. Further, I direct NACADA in collaboration with the university leadership to explore strategies of implementing a raft of recommendations that have come from this report to address this menace. You have our full support to this end. To our youth, I say this: your future is in your hands. Choose your friends wisely, stay focused, and prioritize your well-being. By doing so, you are not just investing in your success, but also in the future of Kenya. Thank you very much. I also think that and the religious institutions have a very strong role to play, and will support you. But also, the report that the CEO, in the CEO remarks, you saw he mentioned that Gen Z campaign together with Meanwhile, religious leaders were sitting somewhere saying, our children occupy everywhere. Let me tell you something. They will occupy that church. You remember in that campaign, they were beginning to say, kila mtu aombe Mungu yake. Kila mtu aombe online. Soon, you'll have our churches as empty as the churches we see in Europe. You know? And then we will not have centers for taking care of these young people. Let's do this. Well, and we are glorifying it. You know, you are glorifying it and calling our children's names. That glorification of that defiance is going to eat us in the near future. In a terrible place, because I have really spent a lot of time. I have also another program with the IG. I hereby declare the report on substance use among university students in Kenya 2024 officially launched.
Our chief guest. We launch it first. We launch it.
Give everybody a chance. Are you ready?
So just a minute, chief guest. We will count from 5 to 1. So we're all ready. Okay, 1, 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, asante sana Bwana Waziri, asante sana. We can now step back a bit so that we can be handed the booklets. We can avail the booklets now so that the chair can hand over to the CS. And we can also give one to the CEO to hand over to the IG. Yes, we can also give one of our directors to hand over to Professor. Sorry. Let's get one. Let's get another one for the CEO. We can give other directors the copies.
All right, we take a picture.
Okay, so now we need one for the CEO, please. Kindly. CEO. Okay, so let's. Okay, so let's ensure that the right page is on the front. Thank you very much. Chief guest would request that